Good morning. We're here on day 2 of FETC, and I am talking with Janice Doda, and she's from South Carolina, a rural school. And we're going to talk a little bit about what the rural schools are doing to prepare themselves and kind of describe what your situation is.
We are okay. We are about the response time to our school is about 20 minutes. We are very rural. We're the last school in our county. We literally sit in the middle of peach orchards and cow pastures, and so we are K-12, K4 through 12. Everything sits on one campus, and we have approximately 1,000 students between the 3 campuses. So we're kind of a unicorn just sitting out there in the middle of a field, to be honest.
Yeah. So when you say 3 campuses, you're actually one single campus with 3 buildings that are attached to each other.
Correct.
So that presents a unique situation. Really not so unique, but a lot of people don't take this into consideration. Is if something happens at one school, it happens at all 3 schools.
Correct.
Right. So when we're co-located or closely located, that's a consideration. And so when we were talking just before coming onto the podcast, we were talking about what it was that you do to prepare yourselves, your schools, and why you do that. Can you explain that?
Well, we talk a lot to our students. The thing is that a lot of our students are related to each other, whether it's from the kindergarten all the way up to the 12th grade. They're all related to each other. Mm-hmm. And we, not to sound biased, but we consider ourselves a family out there because we're so small. And, we know that our students all want to jump in if something happens. So we practice active shooter drills a lot. And, we talk to the students all the time about if this happens, this is what we're going to do. If that happens, that's what we're going to do. And we give them different scenarios. Uh-huh. And so we always keep our doors locked, and we always keep the outside doors locked, keep our classroom doors locked. And in order to get through into our school, you have to go through. We have to let you in the front door. We have to let you into the office, and then the office will not let you into our main building. So we have a lot of fail-safe situations where they have to go through a lot to get into our building.
So from my experience, you guys are actually doing a little bit more than the average schools are.
Right.
Why is that?
I think it's more for us that we are so far out, and the response time for the police and ambulances and things like that is we know that we are kind of like the lone duck sitting out there, and we want to not only protect, our job as educators is to send the children home better than they came to us. It's our job to protect the children, and not send them home in a worse condition than the parents sending to us.
Right. So there's a couple of things I want to unpack there, right? So you were telling me you had like a 20-minute response time from your first responders. And so when we talk about on the podcast, we talk about when the alarm happens, when the situation is triggered, then we have to understand that we're there until somebody comes to help us. It's not press a button and everything's good. There is a response that has to happen. And on average, that's 8 to 10 minutes. And yours is double that.
Right.
So you have to consider if something is happening, you're the only one there to respond to that. And so for me, that's commendable because you guys are thinking about that. And that's one of the problems with doing a podcast live at a convention. So that's commendable. Now, the other thing is when you talk about the preparedness and so forth, the expectations, we talk about expectations of what it means to be or have a safe school. And to me, the expectations are very, very clearly stated. A lot of people don't understand is there's three expectations every day from our families to our educators. First, that they arrive at school safely. Second, while they're there, they're presented an opportunity to learn in a safe and supportive environment. And then you touched on this. We send them back and at least the same condition, but hopefully better. And so that's how we those are the expectations of our families and those people who support the schools, and the schools support them, obviously. And when we get into, if we understand that, then we can start unpacking all three of those expectations and say, how do we get them here?
Right.
And once they're here, how do we give them the best opportunity to be successful? And how do we do that without causing harm and understanding our impacts? And then once we do that on a daily basis, now we need to get them home again. Just get them back.
You know, the thing is too that you got to have buy-in from everybody. You know, you have to have buy-in from the parent, you have to have buy-in from the student, you have to have buy-in, especially from everybody on the campus, to make sure that everything runs exactly like it's supposed to. And where I say buy-in from the parent, when we're in a lockdown situation, don't come beating on our door wanting your kid.
Yeah.
We got your kid. Yeah. Let us do what we do because we know what we're doing.
Right.
You know, buy-in from the kid means don't fight me trying to get out the door because I got you.
Yeah.
I will die before you die. It's my job to protect you. Let me do my job.
Yeah.
And buy-in from everybody within the building means you can't be scared if you're my next door neighbor. Your job is to protect your kids just as it's my job to protect my kids.
Correct. And so when we start talking about parent communications, how often do you communicate your expectations to them and get their expectations from you as to what's happening during an emergency? How often do you do that?
The district does that.
Yeah.
We don't call them. You know, if we're in a situation, we've been in some lockdowns.
No, but do you do that prior to, like during an emergency, you can expect this to happen for us. Yeah, okay.
But,
and how often do you do that?
We do that at the beginning of the year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then if an emergency happens, they'll get a call from the district. It's not our job to stop our crisis,
right,
and let them know what's going on.
Uh-huh.
The district will let them know what's going on because we don't want it to get out in the press.
And how do they do that?
So robocall.
Robocall. Yeah. So it's this is happening.
Right.
Stand by for
and we ask you to please not go to the school, do not create a distraction. Let us handle it. Let us do what we need to do.
Yeah, and so you're a smaller district, and that's the perfect, acceptable way to do it. But for the larger districts, that's what we do. We do for Crisis Go.
Oh, actually, we're a very big district. We're a small school. We're a very big district.
So how big's your district?
Yeah, not really sure. I think.
So you have a county school district? Is that what it is? And so how big, what county are you in? Aiken County. I'll have to talk to my guy. But so that's when we talk about standardization. Are you doing the same thing that your other campuses are doing? That kind of thing, right?
Now, I don't know how I cannot speak to how they do the drills and all of that stuff. Because,
Right.
Every school is going to be kind of a different situation.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
All righty. Thank you so much.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.